It's an issue that Fox 5 has been covering for years and that the neighborhood itself has been dealing with for decades: the sinking streets of Windsor Park in North Las Vegas. Today, some residents of about 90 families who live in Windsor Park attended a screening for a documentary, followed by a community discussion. They shared cries for help as the foundation of the neighborhood sinks beneath their feet.
Everybody knew who grew up over here about Windsor Park. It just became a neighborhood that was just kind of dying out.
An award-winning documentary by UNLV film and law students bringing attention to the decades-long struggles of a community in North Las Vegas.
I've been in Windsor Park for 46 years. I've seen it beautiful. Now it's like living in the gutter.
Windsor Park community members met for a screening of the Sinking Streets documentary Saturday, followed by a discussion with people sharing their own experiences of living in a neighborhood that was deemed unsafe in the early 1990s due to unstable ground.
Driveways are cracking, the streets are bumpity bump. Everything is just, the houses are leaning. We complain, we complain, we complain. The city does nothing.
In 1994, the city of North Las Vegas got federal funding to help Windsor Park residents move to safer grounds, and about half took them up on the offer. But the residents who remained have since been dealing with unkept vacant lots and a foundation sinking beneath them.
There's like this house, vacant lot, vacant lot, vacant lot. This house looks like it's getting ready to fall apart. How did they even get to the state and condition, and why would a government leave them in that condition?
Now, a new bill proposed by Senator Dina Neal would move the remaining Windsor Park residents to a housing development built with city and state funds.
If the city of North Las Vegas refuses to fix the homes, then yes, we are so about this bill. We want to be moved. We are glad that Senator Neal is keeping us together as a family, as a community, and giving us the same proportion houses as what we had in Windsor Park.
And that bill is still in the early stages, and although many Windsor Park residents at that meeting today said they'd be sad to leave their childhood homes behind, organizers say that most of them are in support of the bill and would be willing to make that move.